Week 18 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers I look to sell and trade this week. The first guy, Wendell Carter, or the Orlando Magic. So it's been a good full first season here for Carter with this Magic team after they traded Nikola Vukovic last season to the Chicago Bulls. So on the season, 14.1 points a game, 10.2 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.1 threes a game, and 50% from the field here for Carter. So in the last couple weeks, 17.7 a game, 11 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 55% from the field. So right now, his numbers are at a season high, and he's coming off some big ball games here as Wendell Carter. So right now, it's a perfect time to trade him as a sell-high candidate. No doubt about it, he could put up numbers and all that, but I don't think he's going to be putting up as big numbers as he has over the last few games and the last few weeks on the last few games here for Carter. February 11th at Utah, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, a 352% from the field. February 12th at Phoenix, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 50% from the field. And February 14th at Denver, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, a 3, and 54% from the field. So right there, those are big stat lines, no doubt about it. And right now, I think you could get a decent one-for-one deal or package him with another decent player for a superstar here is Wendell Carter. So right now, while he's been playing and he's been consistent, this is a perfect time to sell him off, in my opinion, because I don't see the numbers being this great the remainder of the year. The next center I look to sell and trade Hassan Whiteside of the Utah Jazz. So yes, I've mentioned them for weeks as an ad on the waiver wire, but Rudy Gobert has returned to the lineup, even though Whiteside still doubled. Right now, this is a perfect time to sell him off. I know you're not going to get much for him, but it's better than just dropping him and getting nothing at all here for Whiteside. So on the season, 8.7 points a game, 7.8 rebounds, 1.5 blocks a game, and 62% from the field. And the last couple weeks here, he's putting up big numbers. Is Whiteside, 10.6 points a game, 13 rebounds, 2.8 blocks a game, and 66% from the field. So I think he's going to have value, even as a backup here in Utah to Gobert, who's finally back in the lineup. But no doubt about it, his minutes are going to take a hit, and he's not going to put up his big stat lines. That's just the obvious here with Whiteside. So if you could trade him off for a decent piece, like I mentioned, instead of just dropping him onto your waiver wire and getting nothing for him, this is the time to do it before his numbers go down. February 9th versus Golden State, 9 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a whopping 7 blocks. February 11th versus the Magic, 15 points, 18 rebounds, and assists, 2 blocks, 77% from the field. And February 14th versus Houston, 11 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 55% from the field. But his minutes went down to 18 minutes in that blowout victory versus Houston. So right here, the minutes are going to drop. The stats are going to drop. And this is a perfect time to put him on your trade block or even package him with someone else and see what you could get for Whiteside, because I don't see him playing this many minutes here, obviously, with Rudy Gobert back in the lineup. And right now, his fantasy value just won't be there like he was over the last few weeks, because he returned is Gobert. And the third and final center I look to sell and trade this week here, Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks. Mitchell Robinson, it's been an up and down season here for him with this Knicks team. He'll have some big games, and then some games he don't do much. But in my opinion, yeah, he's going to help you in rebounding, blocking shots, and field goal. But besides that, he don't bring much here as Mitchell Robinson. And he don't have that many great games where it's a monster stat line. So on the season, 8.5 points a game, 8.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 76% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, he's averaging a double-double, 10 points a game, 11.8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 65% from the field. So on blocks, rebounds, and field goal alone, I think you could sell him off and get a decent player for him. But like I mentioned, he don't do much of anything as Robinson. And on a normal year, he's going to average 8 and 8 or 9 and 9 at best. So right now, he's a little overrated in fantasy basketball as Mitchell Robinson, because he only does 3 categories. As great as field goal and blocking shots. Besides that, he's just another player in fantasy basketball that'll be inconsistent. So the last few games here for Robinson, February 10th at Golden State, 7 points, 11 rebounds, 37% from the field. February 12th at Portland, 2 points, 3 blocks, 100% from the field. And then February 14th, a monster game and an overtime loss versus the Thunder. 14 points, 17 rebounds, 4 steals, 4 blocks, and 66% from the field. So after that huge game versus the Thunder, which is one of his biggest games of the season here, I think he could sell Mitchell Robinson off and get a decent player for him, because also in this month on February 7th, he had a 19-point, 21-rebound game. So with a big games under his belt this month here, I think he's a perfect sell-high candidate, because I know what he is, a 9-9 guy with 2 blocks a game is best with a good field goal, but that's obviously not going to put fantasy teams over the top. So that's a few centers I look to sell and trade here for Week 18 of the fantasy basketball season.